From Anshei Sphard-Beth Emeth congregation, it's time to take 10 minutes for Torah with Rabbi Joel Finkelstein.
Welcome to our discussion of Parshat Shemini, right balance. If we look at this day in Jewish history, the day of Parshat Shemini, we wonder, is this the most important day of all of Jewish history? I mean, what are the candidates? Could be the Exodus from Egypt. Yeah, but it was just the beginning. Splitting of the sea. Yes, but at the end of the splitting of the sea, they're just in the desert. They're not there yet. All right, the giving of the Torah. But still, we're not there yet. The idea is to have the Torah in the land of Israel. The arrival in Israel. What about the temple? Building of the temple. That could be the greatest day. But what about this day? The building of the first tabernacle. After all, the book of Exodus ends on the notion of the divine resting of the divine presence in the tabernacle. In this parsha, it spells it out. That ceremony, that moment where they saw the divine presence almost falling into the lap of the Jewish people in the holy temple, in the sanctuary of the Mishkan, of the tabernacle. Could there be a more exciting moment than this? Yes, it was ruined by the death of Nadav and Avihu, but at that moment, wasn't it something special? In fact, Rashi quotes the Seder Olam, the Gemara in Shabbos, that indeed this day had 10 crowns. It was a first. It was a first for many things. It was the first of creation, according to those who say that the world was created then. It was the first of for the Kohanim doing their functioning. It was the first of the eating of sacrifices in the sanctuary. It was the first for the priestly blessings. It was the first for so many different things. Take a look over there, Shabbos Pei Zayin, 87. But still, what's the essence of it? It's the first, it's Rosh Chodesh, it's the beginning of the ceremony. But what is it? So the Avodas Yisrael, the Abdu Rabbi, he says, well, the main thing is, Ki Hayom Hashem Nirah Lechem. I mean, what could be greater? God, Moshe told them, today God will appear to you, not because he wants to give you a Torah, because you built the Beit HaMikdash. You did it. You brought the Shekhinah, the divine presence, here into your own lives, into the camp of Israel. Now, there's a problem, though, that's inherent in bringing God into this world. And it's part of a dual problem or paradox that we have in general. And I want to thank visiting professor, Professor Israel Koren, who shared this with me, based on the writings of Rabbi Shneir Zalman Vladi, the first Chabad Rebbe. He says, on the one hand, we want to have Yisra'utel L'Tata. We want to have stirring from below. We have to do something. I mean, we can't have things like the Exodus where God does all the work and the Jews passively walk out of Israel out of Egypt like sheep. That's not good enough. It's not good enough that the Jews are passive in their own Exodus. And so too in bringing God into their midst, that God would just suddenly appear to the Jews, as he did at Mount Sinai in many ways. It's not enough. We wanted to have some stirrings from below, here down on earth. We want to play a role in bringing God into our lives. But on the other hand, God forbid we should ever begin to think that Kochi ve'otzim yadi, that I did it. I'm the one who brought God into my life. Aren't I special? I'm so religious, so pious, that I brought God into my life. Doesn't that border on haughtiness? Would God really want to dwell with a person of such haughtiness? So it's sort of, you turn this way, you turn that way, you're in trouble. If you're just passive, well, God can't dwell with those who are just passive. You have to do something. But if you're active and you start taking credit for it, so then really, you brought God. Are you worthy of God? This is God's presence. There's always a gift. It's never completely because of my doings. So this is a paradox. This is a challenge. This is a problem. The Bnei Aaron, Nadav and Avihu, they realized that something has to be done. Here was this moment where the divine presence was resting on them. A fire comes out, and what happened with Bnei Hashem, it was in front of God there in the Holy of Holies. It ate their sacrifices. Everyone saw, they were so amazed. They sang, they did something. They sang, they yelled, they screamed. They bowed down, but still, Nadav and Avihu felt like we have to play more of a role. It's leaning too much in the direction of just God doing it, and we have to play a role too, so we've got to do something here. So they went and they made a very fateful decision to actually take some incense and bring it themselves. It was a wrong decision. It was too much human involvement, and that's why the rabbis associate them with haughtiness, that they didn't ask Moshe and Aaron, they didn't ask their elders, their own parents, uncle, the leader. They didn't, no woman was good enough for them. They never married. It wasn't for lack of choice. They had a certain haughtiness that somehow they're going to do it. On the other hand, wasn't it admirable that they tried to sort of have more of a human involvement, which was important. So what's the answer? What's the right balance between being passive in receiving divine presence and being active in receiving divine presence? So I think we find it in the blessing that Moshe and Aaron gave to the Jewish people. One blessing was the priestly blessing. It says that he finished all the work by Avraham, he gave him blessings. What blessing would that be? That's Aaron. That would be the priestly blessing. First time ever. But then it says that Moshe and Aaron came out and they gave a blessing. Well, it can't be the priestly blessings because Moshe doesn't give priestly blessings. He's a Levi. So Rashi says, based on another source, Torah Kohanim, the Sifra, the great Medrash on Vayikra, that what? They said, V'hinoam Hashem aleinu, Hashem Elokeinu aleinu. May the presence, the pleasantness, the beauty of God rest with us. In other words, Yi Ratzon, may it be your will, God, Shetishresh China v'masei yedichem, that the divine presence should rest in the work of your hands. You did it. You built the Mishkan. And now, may God's presence rest. We can build that Mishkan. What can we do? Where is it okay? You can create the spaces. Create a Shabbos table. Create a Yom Tov, create a Pesach. A place where there's room for divine presence. The rest of it is not up to us. That's up to God to bring His presence in that place. That the divine presence should rest in the work of your hands. The work of your hands, human intervention. Itra'uta dilatata. The work from down below here on earth. God should bring His presence. That's God's job. That's from above. That's the right balance. That's that somehow mediating between human involvement in bringing divine presence and asking for divine assistance. When we can create those welcoming spaces for divine presence, hopefully, maybe, we'll merit to have Shekhinah b'masei yadeinu, divine presence in our midst, in things that we do, in spaces that we create, in times that we create, special times, Jewish times, Pesach, Shavuos, Sukkos, the Omer time. And hopefully, with this, God will rest in our presence and we'll find that right balance between human involvement and waiting for the gift of the divine. Thanks so much for joining us here at the Anshei Sphard-Beth Emeth congregation for our discussion of the Parsha. Join us each week for a discussion of the holidays, Parsha, how-to videos, and more. And thanks to our producer, Jason Lefkowitz.
This has been 10 Minutes for Torah with Rabbi Joel Finkelstein. To learn more, visit asb.org.